For the first time since 2002, the path to the Super Bowl in the AFC runs through Vegas. In fact, it'll be the first time that Allegiant Stadium has ever hosted a playoff game since the Raiders relocated from Oakland. We have been a truly dominant team this entire 2027 season. 25 years since the Raiders last were atop the AFC heading to the Super Bowl. We lost our Week 1 contest to the Denver Broncos and did not lose again until we had clinched the number 1 seed in Week 15 against the Houston Texans. One loss in the 3 following games where we were resting starters and load managing for the playoffs left us with a 15-2 record, the best in the NFL. We come into the playoffs with the number 1 scoring offense, number 1 rushing offense, and number 1 rushing defense, along with a scoring defense that has begun to round themselves into form, and a passing offense led by a talented young quarterback and a fantastic group of exciting, explosive weapons. We are without a doubt the favorites to survive the AFC and make it to the Raiders' first Super Bowl since Super Bowl 37, where they lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But the path will not be easy. We have played 5 of the 6 remaining teams in the AFC in the past 2 years, and all of our games against them have been close and competitive. We do not know who our opponent is going to be quite yet, but there is a very good chance we have seen them before. Welcome back to the Raiders franchise, everybody. It is time for the games to matter once again. It's a nice feeling knowing that we have something to play for now after a very long, what will have been month off from meaningful football for our Raiders. We don't quite know who our opponent is going to be yet in the playoffs, but we are going to find out today. We're going to see how each of these AFC playoff games shake out, and we are going to get ready to hop in to that first playoff game of 2027. Ahead of the game, though, I did ask for you guys to send me a couple of questions to go over before we head into the game, and we do have a couple. First up, from Jacob. He's asking if there are any players that I wish to see getting some more snaps who were playing a lot in those rest games, backups who proved themselves and have earned a larger role moving forward. This is a really, really good question. I think that was not the main point of those 3 games where we were playing a lot of backups, but it certainly was something to look out for. Now, I do think we have a very talented group on the offensive side, and we won't be seeing a ton of change. Maybe some more 6 offensive lineman sets with Eric Ramos in. I think that he played quite well, our developmental tackle, who's likely to take over at right tackle next season. I think Ray Davis and Braylon Allen ran well, but they've done that pretty much the entire year, and we're obviously not going to be taking Ashton Genty off the field that much. I am going to go ahead and change our wear and tear settings for the playoffs. We've been load managing Genty kind of throughout the second half of the season, and he is in 100% perfect shape, ready to go for a deep playoff run. That being said, though, defensively, I definitely feel more confident seeing plays from Sterling Haynes, Justin Cruz, and then also Tyree Wilson. We know that Tyree has had a very good year as a rotational pass rusher on the interior, but he continued to play well. Cruz may get a couple of snaps as a rotational rusher, and then Haynes, I feel very confident that he can play a little bit subbing in for Brendan Mays and Tommy Donaldson. Other than that, though, this is the group of starters we're going to be rolling with. I think that a lot of the backups that we're playing are just that. They're backups or they're developmental players. I do think that Tyree Irwin played well, but he's a guy, he's not quite ready to start. He's more of a guy who can get some playing time next year or the following year once cornerback frees up a little bit, but this is the group. And you look at the morale, they're all feeling good. They're playing up to their potential and some even above it. We really are just hitting on all cylinders, and it would be a disappointment if we don't, at minimum, make it to the conference championship. Jacob then asks, which of the playoff teams do I think are teams that I would not like to play, both on the AFC side and the possible NFC champion if we do make it to the playoffs? And just looking at the playoff bracket on the AFC side, we have played all of these teams aside from the Jacksonville Jaguars within the past 2 years. We played the Steelers this year. It was a marquee matchup of the 1 versus the 2 seed. That has held. The Broncos have snuck in as the 7 seed. They're the only team that beat us. Kansas City's obviously very tough. Buffalo, we played in the playoffs last year. If it weren't for a blizzard, I think we probably lose that game. And then the Bengals are the team that eliminated us in the playoffs last year. And then on the NFC side, I think there are 3 teams that I would really fear playing, and that would be the Eagles, the Packers, and then the Seattle Seahawks. I think all 3 of these teams have a lot of high-end talent. The teams that truly have elite defenses, like all 3 of these teams do, are the teams that give me the most trouble, the teams that are able to stop the run. And obviously with the Seahawks, they have our former superstar, Max Crosby, as the number 1 player on their team. The rest of the teams in the NFC, I'm not as concerned about, but again, we cannot be looking too far ahead. And that's where we get to our next question here from Aiden, where he asks if my ambitious goal of trying to win a Super Bowl is looking beyond whoever our first opponent is going to be. And I don't think so. I understand where you're coming from. You don't want to overlook your opponent and just say, we want to win the Super Bowl, so we're only going to focus on that. But in reality, windows close really, really fast in the NFL. Like, you can take a look at our salary cap situation and say that there's not a lot of money tied up into long-term deals, and we have a ton of cap space. But windows close for a variety of reasons in the NFL. Players age, get hurt, you have to pay them. Players that you don't pay leave in free agency, and you may not be able to replace them effectively. There are many reasons that a window can close, and despite having an extremely young team, this window is not going to last forever. And as the number 1 seed, there is an expectation, especially when you're as dominant as we were, 15-2, barely challenged in the second half of the season. I think that we have to shoot high, and the goal should be to win a Super Bowl, but we can do that without overlooking our opponent. I think we've seen, especially on the AFC side, that all of these teams are going to be a tough challenge for us. Thank you all very much for your questions. Reminder, if you do want to have a question answered in the next episode as a post-game presser, then just go ahead and leave a comment and ask your question down below. If someone asks a question that you really, really like, go ahead and give it a thumbs up so I know that you want me to answer it. Okay, it is time for us to go ahead and actually get into this. We have a couple of things to take care of before we see who our opponent is going to be. Remember, we figured out last episode that our opponent will either be Denver, Kansas City, or the winner of the Jacksonville-Cincinnati game. Because the NFL reseeds, we will not play against the Bills or the Steelers in the divisional round. But first up, we have to follow up with Ashton Ginty. Remember, we set the statistical goal for him to get 16 touchdowns at the end of the season. He did end up reaching that goal. Okay. Never mind. What? He did reach that goal. The goal was 16 total touchdowns. I remember seeing it. It said total touchdowns. He had 15 rushing and 3 receiving. What am I missing here? Yeah, look at this. I went back to the video where we set Genty's goal, and it said 16 total touchdowns. Well, he has 18. So, thanks, EA. You really screwed me out of that fantastic reward of 2,500 XP, which would sure do a lot for Genty's development at this point. But, okay, I guess, sure, why not? After going through a light half pad practice during our bye week, Dale Burton has another upgrade. This one should get him to an 80 overall, and it does. So we're going to unlock that second ability slot. Let's go ahead and take a look, see what we can give him. There's not really much here that accurately represents Burton's playstyle. The only one would be like safety valve, but I just don't throw the ball to running backs all that much. We did a lot more of that last year. So I guess for abilities, because none of these zone abilities matter, because he only has superstar dev. So we're going to go ahead and just throw quick draw on him. Not a great selection of abilities. I think the QB abilities are actually quite disappointing. But that's what we're going to be rocking with. Burton gets to an 80 overall ahead of the playoffs. He is the number 22 ranked quarterback based on his ratings in the NFL. And now it is time, everybody, to move ahead and see who our opponent for the divisional round of the playoffs is going to be. Remember, Broncos, Chiefs, Bengals, Jaguars are our options. I personally don't really have a preference. I think all those teams are really, really challenging. I guess I would say not the Bengals, because their offense is extremely explosive and very, very hard to stop, especially through the air. But all of these guys are going to be extremely challenging opponents. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see where fate is taking us. And we are getting round 3 against the Denver Broncos in the divisional round. Let's go ahead, take a look, see what happened. Broncos beat the Steelers 27-24. The Bills took care of the Chiefs, and then the Jags beat out the Bengals, only letting Cincy score 15 points. It's a very impressive defensive performance from Jacksonville. Denver had a 10-point fourth quarter comeback to stun the 2-seeded Steelers. Pittsburgh really did not pass the ball all that well. 30 first downs between the two teams stands out to me. Both teams had a turnover. Bo Nix with 3 passing touchdowns, a very nice passing performance for him. Not a lot of running going on. Troy Franklin with 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. That Nix to Franklin connection was kicking in this game. And then defensively, did anyone make a big play here? 2 sacks for Jonathan Cooper, 1 for Nick Bonito, and then an interception from Talanoa Hufanga. Buffalo and KC, an absolute AFC classic. Again, not a lot of rushing yards, a lot of work through the air. 2 turnovers for Buffalo, but they still won. Kansas City did not have a single third down conversion. Buffalo had 11. I guess that's the difference. 2 turnovers, but no third down conversions for KC is really what made the difference in the game. Josh Allen did throw 2 interceptions, and Mahomes did not play all that poorly. He was very efficient, but the ground game was not very effective for Kansas City. I just can't believe that they had no third down conversions. That's absolutely nuts. 3 sacks for Chris Jones, 2 for Fernando Arianes for the Bills. Look at all these sacks. This is ridiculous. That's 14 sacks total combined between these two teams. 2 interceptions for KC by Rasul Douglas and Trent McDuffie, but KC was not able to do enough on the offensive side. Ooh, a missed field goal by Harrison Butker. That is really, really disappointing there. You lose by 3 and you can pin the 3 points on one guy exactly. Wow, so Cincinnati was getting shut out going into the fourth quarter. So Jacksonville was just in control the entire time. 21 rushing yards for the Bengals, 161 for the Jaguars. 1 turnover for Cincinnati, only 2 third down conversions. We're seeing a theme here. You turn the ball over, can't convert on the money down, you're not going to have a good time. Joe Burrow with one of his worst passing performances of the season. Travis Etienne with a great rushing performance, as well as from Bashal Tutin and LaQuint Allen. Excellent use for 3 running backs. Brian Thomas goes for 162. And then defensively, despite a very nice performance from some linebackers for Cincinnati, there are a couple of sacks here. 2 for Chris Jenkins Jr., 2 for Trayvon Walker. and then 1 interception for Caleb Ransaw did the Bengals in. On the NFC side, Tampa Bay loses to Carolina, Green Bay takes care of Dallas, and Seattle blows out the Niners. So all of the 3 teams that I'm worried about in the NFC are still alive. But let's talk about the Broncos. We haven't seen them since week 8, where we beat them 20-13. They rebounded after that loss very strong with 4 straight wins against some quality opponents and then some not so quality opponents in the Vikings and the Jets. But then they really stumbled towards the end of the year, going 2-4 in their last 6, finishing the season at 10-7 and barely sneaking in as the number 7 seed. Bo Nix, who has given us a number of problems over the course of this franchise, finishes the year with 35 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. A very, very good season for Bo Nix, who comes in rated at an 86, a 93 though, with his morale boost. Bo Nix is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. And those athleticism ratings really have given us a lot of trouble. He has scrambled very effectively on us. Not so effectively throughout the rest of the season, but against us that has been a deciding factor. It's been the reason Denver's converted some big third downs against us. Now the rest of the running game, not too good. So we definitely can focus on stopping Nix with the scrambles, and then it is the passing game. Remember, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, they've had some very good games against us. Evan Ingram has been a thorn in my side for many a year of Madden. This is a very nice group of skill positions. Sutton, still the number 1 guy. So I think that the game plan on defense will still be give cover 2 to Sutton's side, not give him the free release. But if Marvin Mims, who's playing from the slot, starts to kind of kill us, then we're going to have to switch to more quarters, more pounder, stuff like that to counter him. So it's going to be kind of an adjust as we go type of day. The O-line for Denver is quite solid. Drew Main and Ryan Newsel are weaker links on the left side, but obviously Quinn Miners and Alonzo Porter, the rookie from Tennessee, they traded away Mike McGlinchey in the middle of the season so he could begin starting, are a much better right side. Now, one big injury is hashtag Hammond, who is out for this game. So we're going to see Theo Beneday starting at left tackle. So it's going to be Derek Hall rushing against a backup left tackle. And let me tell you, Derek Hall has got over 90 power move right now with his morale boost. That 78 pass block power looks to be a massive weakness for Beneday. That is the only big injury that Denver is dealing with ahead of this game. Other than that, they are healthy. We are obviously completely healthy. I would hope so after a month of not having to play meaningful football, but it is still good to see that we're coming in full strength. Defensively, for Denver, they have obviously a fantastic defensive line. Look at the pass rush production they got from these starting 4. John Franklin Myers was a thorn in my side in that second game. He was stuffing the run like no one's business. Nick Bonito is one of the best edge rushers in the game. Jonathan Cooper, if he can produce against Olu Fashanu to this extent, where we would have to actually account for him and slide to him and then leave Bonito one-on-one with Colton Miller, that is where we could get into trouble. So one of our tackles are going to have to lock down their side because I can't give help to both of them. We obviously know how good these linebackers are. Ernie Leno, Dre Greenlaw, Ivan Pace, and then the bane of our existence, Jimmy Way, is a backup. This is a great linebacker room. They fly around. They're extremely fast. They hit hard, and that continues in the secondary. 4 picks for Dre Greenlaw ties him with Pat Surtain for the team lead. Daxton Hill is a very quality number 2, but Talanoa Hufanga, he is a menace in the box. He hits like a Mack truck. At 200 pounds, he still is a very, very good cover safety, one of the better players of the defense. I think a kind of a glue guy that makes their defense work. Jade Barron is the slot corner, taking a step now in his 3rd year. Not too great in man coverage, but very athletic, good in zone. This is a great defense, and the stats just back it up. We take a look at Denver. They come in with the 11th ranked scoring defense, so not elite, but still very solid. I don't know how are we ranked below them in scoring defense. We allow 21.8 points per game and are 14th. They allow 21.9 and are 11th. What are we doing here, EA? Come on. But they actually have the worst ranked pass defense. I think that's more of an issue, the fact that they have a very good run defense. I think that's kind of a theme in Madden. When you have a great run defense, the pass defense automatically just becomes one of the worst because teams just have to throw the ball. We know how good this defense is. We've played them 4 times now, and this is going to be matchup number 5 of this franchise. Our focus for this game is very, very clear. It is get pressure on Bo Nix. We are focused entirely on the pass rush, power move and finesse move for the edge rushers and interior defensive linemen, as well as increased pressure effects on the quarterback. We need to get to Nix, and we've seen going against good quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, Caleb Williams, Drake May, when you get the pressure on them in Madden, they really, really start to fold. We do have a couple of more upgrades here after our weekly training. None here for any starters. Alohi Gilman will play. So we will go ahead and prioritize giving him his upgrade, and I did see that Terry Weary also had one, so starting right guard will also be getting himself another upgrade. That's good for Weary. He is certainly the weakest link on our offensive line, but still a 78 overall is certainly not bad, and these ratings are pretty darn solid for him. And then we do have 2 more upgrades here for some backups. Tyree Irwin, who we did talk about, a future starter certainly for us, and then Ray Davis, our RB2. We will know who will be meeting the winner of this game in the AFC Championship when our game starts. Jacksonville and Buffalo will be playing the day before, so we will already know who awaits the winner of our game. For the first time since 2002, the Raiders will host a playoff game. The first playoff game in the history of Allegiant Stadium. You know we had to bring Charles Woodson out for this one, right, guys? It is the 1 seed Raiders and the 7 seed Broncos. A divisional rematch in the postseason. The winner of this game will meet the Jacksonville Jaguars for the AFC Championship and the right to represent the conference in Super Bowl 62. AJ Marks will get us underway in the 2027 playoffs. Kick is fielded by Holt. Out past the 20, past 25, down to the 30 before the Raiders special teams unit brings him down. Here comes Bo Nix and this Broncos offense. I want to set the tone really, really early, and I want to try and take advantage of this backup tackle situation that they got going on. First things first, we got to make sure that Nix doesn't run all over us, but I definitely want to watch how does Derek Hall win against this backup left tackle situation. We have some stunts dialed up on the left side to hopefully get him one-on-one. It is a play fake for Nix on first down. He's rolling out and sacked on the first play by Derek Hall. Takedown for a loss of 7, and that is a perfect start. Everything was covered, and Derek Hall, he had 7 sacks in the regular season. He gets 1 on the first play. We are rushing 5 here, so one-on-one across the board. Great job contained rushing by Hall, staying to the outside, and as Nix rolls out left, Derek Hall is an insanely good athlete. There's no chance that Nix was able to get away from him. Good coverage. They did have a comeback route to Cortland Sutton. Terrell Carey is going to be covering him. Evan Ingram's open on the throwback, but there's no way Nix can make that throw from this angle with the pressure coming at him. That is a fantastic start for the Raider defense. We will play Stubby to Cortland Sutton. Nix throwing on second down. It's caught by Evan Ingram. Gets by the press coverage of Terrell Carey. It is a gain of 8. But with a big 3rd and 9 coming up, I definitely like our chances here. Be able to load up the defensive line and try and do the same thing. Try and isolate Derek Hall with this backup left tackle here. Nicks in the gun. He has RJ Harvey to his left. It will be a throw, and it's underneath. Caught by Marvin Mims. Breaks away from Matthias, but the defense rallies. Mekhi Blackman brings him down, and that is going to be a 3-and-out pitched by this improving Raiders secondary. Crossing on to punt. We're going to come after this, not get a good rush. Kick is away. Tyree Irwin, we will fair catch it at the 15-yard line, and Dale Burton and the Raider offense that led the league in rushing and scoring will take the field. My entire game plan, honestly, is centered around the idea that I've switched up Parker Griffin and Trey Tucker. Tucker is now set as wide receiver 2, so he will be covered by Patrick Surtain. This leaves Parker Griffin one-on-one with Daxton Hill on the left side. I think we have a big advantage with our big receivers, Griffin and Bowers, against the smaller Denver DBs, but this throw over the middle is caught by Josh Mann. Middle of the field open, the post is there, and that is a quick gain of 17. It was a zone blitz out of the too-high look. They did not get deep enough, those mugged up linebackers, leaving man wide open for a first down. 1st and 10, handoff to Ashton Jeanty. He bounces it backside. Jeanty with an explosive run out to the 46. Gain of 14 for the very well-rested Ashton Jeanty. Took that one backside. No help from the fullback, Jack Westover. No problem. Too high look. I want to go ahead. We'll read the spacing on the left side. Burton to throw. It is caught. Hung on to by Parker Griffin. He crossed over 1,000 yards in the last game of the season. Brings up 3rd down and 2. We're not going to mess around here. Bring the beef on the field. Darnell Washington, Brock Bowers, Josh Mann, all in line, and just give it to number 2. Ashton Jeanty are going to follow right behind Washington. He got a blocking upgrade last episode, and a lane is cleared for Ashton Jeanty. First down to the 31. This is certainly our best rushing output, at least early, against Denver the entire season. Their run defense has been very stout in all of our matchups, but right now we are gashing them. Ray Davis enters. Jeanty needed a quick breather. He's had a couple of long runs, taking some contact here. Play fake on 1st down. Burton got to get rid of it. Hits Josh Mann, and it'll be a gain of 5. Mann's 2nd reception. He really cooled off in the second half of the season. Certainly did not get a large share of targets, but he's still a very valuable member of our receiving corps. 2nd and 5. We're going to motion Griffin into the backfield. Normally we do this with Trey Tucker. This time it's Parker Griffin. Give it to Jeanty, trying to get outside, but Ernie Leno is not fooled, and it will be a loss of 1 ahead of 3rd down and 6. Savion Williams in the backfield. Some kind of pressure look here from Denver, so we got to be prepared to get rid of this ball fast. And we're going to read out the stick concept. Burton in trouble. Stepping up. Going to run and slide, but gets the first down to the 18. All that pressure came off the left side. Savion Williams had to stay in and protect. Didn't have the same horizontal stretch with Williams in, but were able to step up and get the first down. It was a sim pressure that Denver sent. Makes sense. They still had 8 in coverage. We have numbers out here to the right side to run outside zone. They don't have enough DBs out here. We get a nice seal from Brock Bowers, and Jeanty able to be tracked down by Nick Bonito. It's a gain of 4, but it could have been a lot more. Bonito with that fantastic backside pursuit. Brings up 3rd and 6. And again, looks like some kind of weird pressure look we're getting here from Denver. We're going to motion Trey Tucker. If the speed out's open, we're going to take it. But looks like we're getting zoned. Not enough guys to the right side. We're going to read this side out. Hit Ashton Jeanty trying to get the first down, but Patrick Surtain brings him down at the 9-yard line. Brings up 4th down and 1. And guys, I think you know me. I think you know exactly what we are planning on doing. I want to get my 6 offensive linemen on the field. Bring Caleb Rogers out. No QB sneak defense from Denver. This would be an easy first down. Just follow Jackson Powers Johnson. Burton sneaks ahead, gets the first down. We know this concept here. We're going to read Ernie Leno. Does he charge down with Jeanty and Westover? If not, we're throwing it to Jeanty. Here we go. We do get movement with him. But Parker Griffin wide open beats Daxton Hill, and that is a touchdown for the Raiders offense, striking first in the postseason. Linebackers stayed underneath with the backs going out. I knew our throw was over the middle of the field. No pass rush and an easy pitch and catch from Burton to Griffin. Handoff to on first down. This is Gaines, and he is able to get enough for a first down. Just ran right through the defense. Linebacker slow to flow, and that is the first down of the game for the Broncos offense. They're going to stick with the 21 personnel on the field. Gaines still in the backfield. Handoff outside zone to him. Gets away from Matias, and that is another big run. That's 19 yards for Gaines on this drive. That is going to do it for the first quarter. A quick one here in Vegas. Raiders lead 7-0, but Denver is driving. They've gotten the run game going and have broken a couple of big ones. Got to see how this Raider defense has been very good in the red zone and in their own territory. See if we can clamp down a little bit here. Sutton the line backside to the trip, so we're going to go ahead and get the cover 6 call to him. Harvey in the backfield, Nix to throw. Underneath, caught by Marvin Mims, but he doesn't get the first down. Chauncey Cherry brings him down, 3rd and inches. We're going to get a QB sneak here from Denver. We've had some success against the QB sneak as of late. Nix under center, Dobbins in the backfield. He sneaks ahead and does pick up the first down. 2nd and 10, passing is Nix. Underneath, pass broken up for Marvin Mims. It was high. Mekhi Blackman with the PBU, and we're getting 3rd down and 10. A tight look for Denver, so I definitely want to send some kind of pressure. I'm definitely thinking slot. Sending Mekhi Blackman. We're going to get him right up on the line. We got to watch out for the back out of the backfield. He will not be covered. Nix throwing down a seam. It is caught by Marvin Mims. CJ Clayton brings him down, prevents the touchdown, but an absolute rope thrown by Bo Nix right down the middle converts on the 3rd and long. Blackman didn't get in cleanly. No one carried the seam down the middle of the field, and Clayton was left in no man's land. This is just tough positioning here for Sergio Matias. He's going to be the man responsible for carrying 2 vertical. He just doesn't get out quite fast enough. Right here, he needs to be turning and running, but even now he is beat, and Nix knows it. Rips this seam. A fantastic throw, and there's no one here to account for Marvin Mims aside from Clayton. It's a good tackle to prevent a touchdown, but really good play from the Broncos. 4 wide receivers on the field for Denver. We respond by going dollar with an extra DB on. Nix in trouble. He is going to be taken down by Tommy Donaldson. Nothing was open there, and Donaldson, the team sack leader, gets another one. That would be 9.5 total on the season. Brings up a very long 3rd and 18. And at this point, we are going to play prevent, protect the sticks, just sit at the first down, screen set up for Gaines. He's going to get some yardage, but be taken down at the 14-yard line. Tyree Irwin with the tackle. So the defense makes one big play with the sack by Donaldson, and they will hold Denver to a field goal attempt. So this is Jason Sanders on for a 31-yarder. Crenshaw in the hold, and the kick is good, right down the middle. Shifting Genty back into the backfield. We may have Parker Griffin on this bubble, depending on what Dax Hill does. We do have it. Swing it out. Griffin, he's going to get 5. It'll be 3rd down and 3 upcoming. Spreading Denver out, we're getting a press, possibly zone tell, but it's a light box. We're going to check into the QB draw. Dale Burton here. We're going to go ahead and take this thing left, but we don't get a block on Ernie Leno. Burton breaks a tackle, though, and he's able to get the first down. What an effort from Dale Burton. He takes the hit from Ernie Leno and just eats it. Eats the hit stick. Steve Holloway, we got to do a better job than this. I don't know why he's setting out when the linebacker's coming right through his gap. We slid this thing right. Holloway should pick up Leno, but look at that by Dale Burton. You don't think that this guy wants it to win a Super Bowl in year 2. He picks up the first down. 2nd and 10. I mean, this looks like a good look to run the end around, give it to Trey Tucker. It is a great look for him. His second carry of the day is a first down into Bronco territory. This looks like possible pressure or quarters. We're going to block Genty just in case. Our protection looks good. Here we go. No one comes. We'll hit Brock Bowers on the out route. Barron, ball's knocked out. Bowers able to fall on it. I don't think that was a fumble either way. But we do retain possession. It's second down and 4. They don't have a down man over Darnell Washington. We should be able to seal this edge. Give it to Genty. He gets to the edge. First down, Ashton Genty down to the 27. We might have pressure coming off of this left side with the DB walk down. We might have to get rid of this ball quickly. Play fake for Burton. In trouble, just able to get rid of it. Benito on the release from Josh Mann did come free. We were able to get the ball out though. Zone look in a light box again here. We're not going to go ahead and check into the QB draw. Instead, we're going to work our quick game. We're going to go ahead and work this right side spacing concept. Pressure coming. We throw. Hit Josh Mann. Breaks away from Surtain. Bad angle for Brandon Jones. And Josh Mann is into the end zone for the second passing touchdown of the day for the Raider offense. Some kind of zone pressure coming from Denver. Left man open, broke one tackle from Pat Surtain. The 6'4", 260-pound rookie Josh Mann is able to break away, and then a terrible angle by Brandon Jones as man breaks inside. Surtain thought he had it. I don't know what Jones thought he was doing, but Josh Mann is showing up early with a couple of big catches and now a touchdown. Denver in a hole now, 14-3, but they certainly are not out of this. One score, and they get the ball to start second half, so they could be right back in this thing really, really quickly. We get a bunch look, tight, condensed set, play fake for Nix. Over the middle, it's almost picked off by Drew Sanders dropping back. Oh, that would have been a game changer and really put the pressure on Denver. Instead, it leads to second down and 10. Chips look here. We're sending pressure. Nix in trouble. He's sacked again. Ball is out. Donaldson recovers it. Strips Nix and then gets the ball on top of it. Raiders will take over provided that Nix was not down. The interior pass rush from Tommy Donaldson is destroying this Denver offensive line. The center, Ryan Newsel, having a really tough time blocking Tommy Donaldson. We got to make sure that Nix was in fact down, however. This is the kind of thing that stunts can do for your pass rush. So Denver, they're going to slide left. If you watch the pass protection chalk talk, this is a Wendy's call where we're bringing all 4 offensive linemen, including Quinn Miners, into the slide to account for the 4 most dangerous rushers. But look at the stunt we have dialed up here. Donaldson is going to penetrate, and Wilson is going to loop. As soon as Miners, who sets left, sees that Wilson leaves, he then goes back to help block Glenn Ramsey. Now, we have 3 guys accounting for Ramsey. I don't necessarily think this is a good use of your resources on the offensive line, but the looping Wilson then gets the left guard, Maine, to come off of Donaldson. And then this is a position that you cannot be in as an offensive lineman. Perpendicular to the line of scrimmage. You never want to have that outside hip drop. My offensive line coach in college always told us, as soon as you let that outside hip drop and you have to turn and run and you're not sweeping the defensive lineman behind you, you have lost the rep and you're going to get the quarterback killed. That's exactly what happens here, and it's because of the stunt. Puts Newsel in a really bad position. Donaldson is able to break away. Nix has no chance. Now, as for the actual fumble, it does not appear the ball is moving. So Denver is going to retain possession, but has another massive sack, bringing up a what should be third down and long. Now, we're going to see if EA will actually challenge this, and we will get a booth review. In case that the CPU was not going to review it or the game wouldn't, I would challenge it. I know this is a problem with the CPU where they just don't challenge fumbles, but we do get a review here. Denver will retain possession. 3rd and 19. We have 4 DBs on the field. We're going man, just shading over the top. Nix, he's stepping up, chucking down the field. It's over the head of Marvin Mims. Actually got behind Alohi Gilman there. Maybe a bit too aggressive of a call, trying to hit the seam against the man coverage. Maybe not a great job by me, but it's going to be another punt coming up for Denver. They have not been able to get much going. Tommy Donaldson has shut down 2 drives. Tyree Irwin back to receive this kick, and we are almost inside of A.J. Marks' field goal range with 3 minutes to go in the first half. First down play fake, rolling out right is Burton, trying to hit Parker Griffin in and out of his hands. Surtain covering him. Because of the alignment, we were actually able to get Surtain on Griffin. That would have been a spectacular catch. And looks like we're getting man coverage, possible blitz here. I'm going to go ahead and just go big on big protection, see if the motion from Tucker helps us out at all, opening things up. Hit Parker Griffin. We have a penalty flag down, and it appears it is going to be on the Raiders. I was going to say that we could go for it on 4th down with where we got to, but the holding call on Colton Miller makes it 4th and 2. Denver declines the penalty. I think a punt might actually be the smart decision here, because not getting this would put us in a tough position defensively. In Denver, again, they're only 1 score away from being down by 1 possession, so I do want them to take some time. We bring the clock down to the 2-minute warning, and I do actually think I'm going to punt here. Normally, I'm pretty aggressive, but this is a situation where you gotta know the clock. So we're gonna bring A.J. Cole on and try and pin Denver inside their own territory. Kick is away. It is aiming towards the sideline, out of bounds of the 18. Not a terrible punt, but Denver will have time. Hand off to Gaines on 1st down. He meets Drew Sanders, bounces away, and then brings it all the way backside. Past the 40 to midfield goes Raheem Gaines with a massive run. No one on the backside for the Raiders. Drew Sanders thought he had him dead to rights, but Gaines able to break away. That's a huge, huge play for Denver to get something going after how this first half's been going for them. Now in Raider territory, R.J. Harvey in the backfield. Throw outside, caught by Marvin Mims is a gain of 5. With the passing situation, we will go with our NASCAR front. Nix to throw quickly outside and caught by Evan Ingram. At this point, yeah, we're really just going to play zone, try and keep everything in front of us and not let Denver into the end zone. We can't get too aggressive and risk a big play over the top. A throw again from Nix, more quick game out and caught by Mims. He's going to get the first down and get out of bounds at the 21. Marvin Mims really starting to hurt us now on defense. We might have to start going with some more quarters and pounder to cover him when he is in the slot. He's outside this time. We're going to shade over that way with C.J. Hicks. Throw is at the feet of Cortland Sutton. Now Mims in the slot. We're definitely going to go ahead and pounder this. Nix to throw underneath, caught Pat Bryant, and that'll be the first time out taken by Denver. 3rd and 5 upcoming. And with this tight look, we absolutely are going to want to run some kind of mugged up look. I'm going to go ahead and play some cover 2. Roll into it, see if we can get a bad throw from Nix. He throws, caught by Sutton. Linebacker's a little bit too deep. It's a 1st down, and we're really playing the game now of how much can we give up? How close to the end zone can the Broncos get? 1st and goal, so they're not going to have much now. They only have 4 plays. Nix empty in the gun, looking to throw, in trouble, rolling, throws it away. Tyree Wilson got to him. And I think we want to stay in the rush look. Force Nix to have to find something. And we're going to go ahead, stunt things up a little bit, get some looping going on out of the NASCAR package. Run some cover 2 behind it. Nix throwing. Here we go. Underneath. Evan Ingram breaks away from Drew Sanders. That is a touchdown. The rush did not get there. Great protection by the Broncos. They march right down the field, 82 yards, and score right before half. Kick return goes out to the 30. We have 25 seconds, 3 timeouts. This is probably 3 plays, but we can work the entire field. We don't have to worry about getting out of bounds or anything like that. We pretty much need to get to midfield, and it looks like Denver's going to play drop coverage, so we're going to have to work underneath. If we want anything, that's going to be a free 5 yards on Jonathan Cooper. We're going to go ahead and focus on flooding the zones here. First down and 5. And we're going to throw underneath Trey Tucker. That's a first down. He's taken down at the 46. We're very close to field goal range. Marks with a very strong leg. We should be able to get this, especially if Denver is just going to let us go down the field. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. Play pretty soft. I wish they didn't do this. It would be much more competitive and interesting if they didn't just let me hit Trey Tucker and get yardage. 2nd and 3. We are now within field goal range. We might have 2 plays. If we can get the first down here, we can get up, spike it, maybe take one more shot down the field, but I don't want anything too risky. We'll run a draw with Genty. Just try and get the first, get up, spike the ball. Hopefully do it with about 8 seconds left. There we go. That's a big run. We got to get to the line now. See how quickly can we do it. I don't think we're going to have a chance. Well, we might. No, that's too close to risk it. We'll take it. That'll be a 53-yard field goal for A.J. Marks to end the first half. Go up 17-10, well within his range. A.J. Cole to hold. Denver won't be coming after it because they have the man back deep to return. Marks drills it. We have a penalty on Denver. I don't think there's any reason why we should accept this. All right, this is proving to be quite the divisional matchup here in the divisional round. I think overall, we've played quite well. Offense has been moving the ball extremely well down the field. The only field goal drive we've had was in a 2-minute drill where we didn't have a lot of time. Defense, I think they've been great. As we see the Packers upset the Seahawks, take down one of the best defenses in the league, holding Seattle to only 6 points, and Max Crosby's hopes of winning a title are dashed for another year. Defensively, I think it's been a really, really good game. The touchdown at the end of half makes you feel a little bit sour in your mouth afterwards, but the 2-minute drill is so hard to stop in Madden. When the CPU just gets going and they just start throwing the ball, it's really, really tough to defend, as we see the Jaguars do beat the Bills by a pretty wide margin, 5 passing touchdowns for Trevor Lawrence. Defense has been good. I want to see, though, the pass rush kind of died in the 2-minute drill. Does the pass rush come back? We need Derek Hall to keep on winning against Theo Beneday. If Beneday starts playing a bit better in the second half, if Denver starts sliding to him, then the pass rush is going to have to win from somewhere else. It's been the interior the last couple of drives. We'll see how they respond. But I do think we're going to have to shift to more quarters when Marvin Mims is in the slot. I think Mims needs to be our focus player. So instead of calling all of our stuff to Cortland Sutton, we're going to start calling it to Marvin Mims instead. If he's on the outside, we will cover 2 to his side. If he's in the slot, we will quarters it. But he's been the guy who's been getting us so far. We're going to be on offense to start, so we don't have to worry about that quite yet. 82 rushing yards so far today for the Raiders. Definitely want Ashton Genty to get himself going. We haven't run much power. I want to change that here on this drive. Denver, though, they are loading up the box. It's not a great look to run power against. But they have linebackers walked up. We'll run an insert block here. Trey Tucker. Middle of the field's open. We are not going to throw it. Genty gets met in the backfield by Ivan Pace and Nick Bonito. Really seems that Denver's focusing on clogging up the running lanes and not letting us get anything free. Another light look. Savion Williams in the backfield. We're actually going to go ahead and hand it off to him. Here we go. Run behind Terry Weary. Good blocks by the O-line, and Williams able to get a first down. Our gadget player getting some work here. More walked up linebackers. We should have the look to run zone here. Give it to Genty. Good block, Parker Griffin. Ashton Genty breaks away from Surtain. Down to the 25. 9 carries, 86 yards as Genty has his biggest rush of the day. More mugged up look here. We get motion in from Bowers. It'll be a play fake from Burton. High ball. Hits Josh Mann. Excellent grab with Leno all over him. Mann running underneath the safety. He's got an option route. So he's got the post if the middle field's open. But because they got the deep safety, Brandon Jones, that turns more into a bender type of crosser. You can see it there, the PAY middle read. He turns that more into a bender to not just run himself into coverage. That's a great route, something that I remember when I switched to tight end in college. I had to learn how to run a lot of option routes like that. Kind of blew my mind a little bit to start, but I got pretty good at it. First down and goal. Give it to Genty. Good block, Jackson Powers Johnson. And Ashton Genty goes untouched into the end zone. And we are back up by 14. All right, defense taking the field now after the offense gets them back up by 2 scores. Don't know why we have Broncos players on our side of the field. Hopefully no one saw that. That was concerning. We get the 3 tight end look here. We'll shift the defense over to it. Running quarters. Sutton the only receiver. It's a handoff to Gaines. Raheem Gaines runs right over Darian Porter. He's in the open field. Terrell Carey saves the touchdown. But Raheem Gaines is putting on a show today. Wow, that run over Darian Porter was so physical. And it's not RJ Harvey. He has 0 carries today. It is all about Raheem Gaines. Gaines, 80 overall rookie, 6'1", 220. Just an absolute speed train of a running back. 84 strength to go with 91 speed, 93 acceleration. That's some really nice ratings blend together there. He's a really, really good looking running back. No wonder that Dobbins and Harvey aren't getting too many reps. But Denver now into Vegas territory. They keep Gaines in 2 tight ends. They give it to Gaines. Breaks away from Matias. He is just an impressive hard runner there. Physical gain of 3. We're bringing some more beef on the field. Sterling Haynes and Tommy Donaldson in. It's a handoff to Gaines again. Breaking tackles. Porter brings him down. But Raheem Gaines, we are not able to get him down on first contact. We do have a big 3rd down and 6 coming up, however. We got to see where Marvin Mims is. He's in the slot, so we definitely want to run quarters to this side. 3rd and 6. Everyone going down the field. Nix throws the dig. Caught! Cortland Sutton. They use Mims as a decoy and run dagger right behind him. Great call by the Broncos, and they are at the 25-yard line now. 3rd down and 6. That run only went for a gain of 1 on 2nd down. I'm going to go ahead and match their 4 receivers with Dollar again. 4 DBs on the field. We're running press man, mugging the lineup. Nix, he motions into bunch. Here we go. Looking to throw. In trouble. He is sacked. Taken down. It is Glenn Ramsey and Drew Sanders getting the pressure. And the defense stands tall once again in the red zone. Actually wasn't quite in the red zone, but same difference. 3rd and down in scoring territory. Let's take a look at this rush here again. Oh, it is all Drew Sanders with the spin move. We got choreographed spin moves here from Ramsey and Sanders. They both win. But that rush by Sanders on Quinn Miners is what flushes Nix out of the pocket right into Glenn Ramsey, who beat Alonzo Porter. As far as the rest of the routes, the press coverage did its job. I was worried about the press in this bunch look, but you see they go lock and level it, and they do okay. There's not too much contact. Porter's able to sort through it. Hicks down in the middle there helps out. Mims is running this out route, which is probably the route that Nix wants to throw if he wasn't about to get sacked. So the defense stands tall. It is Sanders and Ramsey shutting down this drive. Motioning Genty back into the backfield. We're going to go play action here. Bowers and Tucker really are my 2 throws. Neither one's open. We'll step up with Burton and run. 1st down to the 39. 2nd down, run with Genty taking this inside zone outside. It'll make it 3rd down and 5. Not in field goal range quite yet, although we could probably hit a 70-yarder with marks if we really had to. I don't want to test that out today quite yet. We've been getting some man out of Denver, but not when they go with the empty look. We might have Parker Griffin if no one drops out over him. If not, we got to get our eyes back. Nope, Griffin's there, but Dale Burton misses him. Ball over Griffin's head. That was the throw. There was no one that went out with Griffin. We had to make that throw. There was pressure coming from Denver, and we're keeping them in it by not executing on offense. 100 yards on the ground for Denver's offense. They've been really effective. I've been impressed by how well they've been able to run the ball against the number 2 run defense in the league. They come out in a bunch look with Rakeem Gaines in the backfield. I would not be surprised if we see another handoff. Motion from Troy Franklin. Ball thrown, caught by Evan Ingram. Hangs on through the contact with Sergio Matias. When RJ Harvey's been in the game, Denver has not ran the ball once. They are going to run a draw now to Harvey, and he's not going to get much. Only one. We got 3rd and 5 coming up after we move to the 4th quarter. 3rd down and 5. We're sending man pressure. I'm going to green dog this with Matias. Harvey stays in. Pass caught by Evan Ingram with CJ Clayton all over him. Bo Nix just stands in, makes the throw. And Evan Ingram, once again, just proven to be a thorn in our side as Clayton cannot knock the ball out. 1st down, play fake to Harvey, going deep down the field, testing Darian Porter. It is broken up, intended for Cortland Sutton. We haven't seen Porter tested much in coverage so far today. But now Rakeem Gaines back in the game. They swing it out to him, does Nix. Breaks away from Cherry, runs over CJ Hicks, and picks up 6 yards, bringing up a big 3rd down and 4. We get an empty look. Quads from the Broncos. We're going to send pressure. Try and dial up a free runner. Tyree Irwin's going to come off the edge here. We're going to try and block everything else up. Nix, he's in trouble. Lofting it out to the sideline over the head of Marvin Mims. Got rattled by the pressure. Thought about bailing. Eventually just chucked it. It is incomplete, and Denver will have to punt once again. 106 total yards for Ashton Jeanty as the Raider offense comes back on the field. This is our opportunity to take a lot of clock. Now, we haven't been running the ball as effectively as the stats might suggest. We have one big run from Jeanty and a couple big ones on the first drive. But other than that, Denver's been pretty stout. We get sprung here, though. Brock Bowers, good block. John A. Barron saves a touchdown. Right as we were talking about it, we go to the simple duo from shotgun right up the middle. And these receivers do such a good job getting downfield. They know if they block, they are going to get their opportunities. And look at how much Denver's coming up now, really trying to get in these receivers' faces. They're just playing man coverage. Burton in trouble. He is sacked by Zach Allen. It's the first sack of the day for the Bronco defense. Trying to wait for Griffin to get open on that dig, but Terry Weary loses on the spin move. It's the one thing that Weary is not great at in pass pro, is dealing with some speed, which Allen does possess. 2nd down and 1. No, it was Jimmy Way. Well, 2nd down, I tried to set up a screen just to get something quick. It wasn't there to Trey Tucker. Before I could dirt it, Jimmy Way sacked us again. So Jimmy Way is continuing to be a thorn in our side. 3rd and 22. We're just going to run this ball, give it to Jeanty, try and get some yardage. He's got a running lane, and he's going to be taken down at the 25. It's kind of hard to pick up 30 yards on 3rd down. So we're going to punt this back. We're in a good old-fashioned punt off. And AJ Cole is going to get to unleash his leg. We're going to kick it left to let Zaw Frazier, the gunner on the left, try and get down the field. All of our leg into it, and Cole sends it away. Holt will field it from the 20, and Frazier with a good tackle takes him down the 25. So we flip the field perfectly. Knicks throwing on first down underneath. Marvin Mims pulls away from Matthias, and he has another first down. Mims is killing us right now in the receiving game. I went quarters that time, but Matthias is the one matched up on him. That's pretty bad matchup there. First down, play fake for Knicks. Going down the field for Mims. He gets away from CJ Hicks. We were running palms. Number 2 went underneath, and Hicks does not get out fast enough. Look at him. He's just not in position. And Marvin Mims is just torching our defense. Empty look for Denver on 1st and 10. We're sending some pressure. Knicks underneath. It's off the hands of Mims. He is just getting open every single rep. 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle. Dropped again. This time by Troy Franklin. A number of drops from these Denver receivers. It brings up 3rd down and 10. And with the 4 receivers on the field, we're going with the same thing that's been reliable for us thus far. Rest man coverage, loading up the line. 4 DBs in the game. Knicks to throw to the corner. It's over the head of Pat Bryant. Incomplete. The defense stands tall again. Now, does Denver actually kick the field goal here? They will. This will make it an 8-point game. Jason Sanders on from 40 yards out. We're not going to come after it. Kick is true. Right down the middle, and we got a 1-possession game, everybody, late in the 4th quarter of the divisional round. Oh, big kickoff return. Terrell Carey sprung past midfield out to the 30 of Denver. A great block by Darnell Washington. Springs Carey. It's not Kyrie Irwin, our Pro Bowl returner. It is last year's should have been Pro Bowl returner, Terrell Carey, putting the offense in scoring position. A massive, massive play. We can really try and just take some clock, and then a field goal does a ton of damage for Denver because they go back down by 11. Running on 1st down with Genty, finds the lane. 1st down, broken tackle down to the 16. Goes Ashton Genty. 2nd and 10, play fake for Burton. He's got Tucker in the flat. Trey Tucker trying to go over Daxton Hill. He doesn't quite get the 1st down. We get a very manageable 3rd down and inches. And we're going to bring in Darnell Washington, 3 tight ends on the field. We're going to give it to Ashton Genty. We just got to pick up a couple of inches here, everybody. Give it to Genty. Denver coming after it. Ashton Genty fighting for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. They break 30 points. We got to make sure Genty was actually in, though. It looked like Hufanga may have brought him down just shy of the end zone, but for the moment, it is a massive touchdown for the Vegas offense, all started by a fantastic kickoff return. The play has been reviewed, the call is upheld, and the Raiders now lead by 15 with 4 minutes left to go. It's still not quite over. This is just a 2-possession game. It's a touchdown and a field goal that Denver needs, or rather a touchdown and a 2-point conversion that they will need to tie the game up, which certainly possible with 4 minutes left in all of their timeouts. So we are not quite out of the woods just yet. Okay, Marvin Mims is in the slot, everybody. We know where he is. We are accounting for him. We're not running palms. Pass on the dig. Another drop for Denver. What is Knicks putting on these balls? 2nd and 10, throw caught by Troy Franklin. That's only going to be a gain of 4, however. And now, here we go. Denver, they're going no huddle. Trying to get to the line, get as many snaps off as possible. Gains in the backfield with Knicks, who takes his time now, snaps the ball. He's looking to run. He cannot get away from Donaldson. It will not be a sack. But look at the pursuit from Big Tommy. Brings up 4th down and 4. Denver's going to get to the line and will call a timeout. I want to get the right personnel and the right play call on the field. We're not going to need these timeouts. We don't need to stop the clock. We're going to put ourselves in the best position possible. 4th down and 4. A doubles look for Denver. I'm going to send some pressure off the edge here and see if we can get home. They're going to motion Gaines out. So we got to bring Hicks down now. Empty look for Nix. He has time. Throws out route. Caught Evan Ingram. 1st down. 3 tight ends on the field for Denver. I don't fully understand this personnel usage. They're going to even use some motion with 3.5 minutes left, and they're going to run a counter. Give it to Raheem Gaines. Going outside. He breaks 1 tackle, but look at the rally by this defense. And now Denver, they're stuck running no huddle with 13 personnel on the field. I really don't understand this personnel usage at all by the Broncos. Nix from the gun. He's going to throw. Steps up. Throws. Caught by Gaines. And we got 3rd and 4. At this point now, with the no huddle, I just want to have everything be in front of us. Have it take as much time as possible. Nix throws. Caught Evan Ingram. CJ Clayton is lost. We have an injury timeout on the field, and it is for Evan Ingram. So Denver will not lose a timeout as Ingram will come off the field. Now it's all about, can we force Denver to score after the 2-minute warning? That's really all we can do at this point. They shift late. We're going to stay in the same look. Nix to throw out. Caught Marvin Mims. He is just catching everything at this point today. They are going no huddle. They got Cortland Sutton lined up at tight end, which is something that the CPU can do. They motion Harvey out and Nix to throw. He looks, throws, there is Harvey. It is complete for a 1st down. We have 2.5 minutes to go. Mims just got his 10th catch for 113 yards. 2nd and 8. This is the last play before a 2-minute warning. As long as Denver doesn't score right here, we're okay. They snap the ball. Nix to throw. Sacked! Taken down. Tommy Donaldson with more pressure. We finally get home with that stunt. We've been running it a couple of times now. Oh, man, and that is huge now. Clock is going to really, really be a factor now for Denver. 3rd and 13. We're going to call cover 2, but play it really, really soft. Over the top cover 2. Nix to throw. All of his routes are short. Throws underneath. Is caught by Mims. Does not get the 1st down. Here we go. 4th and 3 coming up. I'm going to call timeout once again. And it will be a very tight, condensed look from the Denver Broncos with... This is pretty much their season on the line. Bo Nix, he has Gaines in the backfield, motions him out. We're rushing 5, so everyone is going to be one-on-one. Nix to throw, lofts it to the corner of the end zone, knocked away by Darian Porter, and that should put the final nail in the coffin for the Denver Broncos season. There's just no routes here that are open for Nix against man coverage. These are all static routes that just sit there. His only hope is this out route to Raheem Gaines, but he's got to throw it now. His eyes, though, are in the middle of the field where CJ Clayton's sitting on Cortland Sutton. After that, Derek Hall, who's being blocked by Evan Ingram, comes free. So Nix has to let go of the ball. He has nothing other than just loft it to the corner of the end zone where Darian Porter has excellent coverage on Marvin Mims. He does not get his 11th catch. No one gets 11 catches on the Las Vegas Raiders without something to say about it. We go ahead and put conservative ball carrier on. Really, I'm okay with taking 3 snaps, having Denver use their timeouts, and then punting the ball right back. Genty takes a hit from Hufanga. He's able to stay up, though, in a gain of 7. That is perfect. 1 1st down away from a date with the Jaguars. 2nd down and 3. Genty in the backfield, running counter, giving it to him. He's taken down by Brandon Jones. 1 yard, 2 yards, actually, shy of the 1st down. 3rd down and 2. We have Eric Ramos in the game. Denver stacking up the box. I'm going to make an audible here. We're going to run outside zone left. I can't get to outside zone left, so we're running outside zone right. Give it to Genty, trying to get there, and he does! On his 20th carry, Ashton Genty just picks up enough yardage to get the Raiders the first down they need. We can now kneel this ball out and move on to the AFC Championship game, where we will host the Jacksonville Jaguars. Even the clock runoff worked. Everybody, look at that. Everything is coming up silver and black for the Las Vegas Raiders, winning the first home game in Allegiant Stadium history. 31-16. The Raiders are moving on. They've made it past the divisional round, where they lost last season to the Cincinnati Bengals, and now they are one win away from making it to their first Super Bowl since I was 1 year old. I gotta say, I am really, really impressed by how Denver played, how the game in general played, and then finally by how we played. I thought this game was very, very balanced throughout. It was just a big kick return at the end of the game that did things in. Other than that, it was really, really tight and contested the entire time. Both teams ran the ball extremely well. Great to see that we actually got some good running from the Broncos. I think that power backs do really well for the CPU because they just run forward. That's all the CPU can do. 41 pass attempts for Denver, 21 for us. We didn't throw the ball a lot. We did in the first half, and Burton was very, very efficient. Third downs, both teams hovered right around 50%. Had a couple fourth down conversions, no turnovers. Just a really, really good, complete game. Ashton Genty got 20 carries for the first time in many a week, and the rest had paid off. 166 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 rushes of 20-plus yards. I gotta tell you, though, Raheem Gaines, I'm really impressed, and I'm not looking forward to playing him in future seasons. That guy is an absolute menace. 5 rushes for Dale Burton, 2 for Trey Tucker. Not a lot of carries went around. We gave the ball to Genty and rode him the entire way. As for our receiving game, we didn't spread the ball around that much. It was Griffin, Mann, and Trey Tucker. Bowers only had 1 reception. It's just the kind of game it was. But Denver, 4 drops, all late in the game. Other than Marvin Mims, it was really just Evan Ingram. We took away Cortland Sutton pretty darn well. I think that we're starting to see Porter and Carey be really, really effective outside boundary corners, where so our problem is more in the slot. Definitely have to shout out the defense, getting 4 sacks, 2 from Donaldson, 1 from Hall, and then 1 split between Ramsey and Sanders. Not a lot of PBUs. We did get a couple. A dropped interception from Drew Sanders would have definitely impacted the game. And we also had some nice punts from AJ Cole, 2 within the 20, and then that long 53-yarder that helped flip the field. Now back to the team. We have an upgrade here for Parker Griffin. This will get him up to a 79 overall into the physical tree, +1 speed. How about it now? He's going to have 94. We also got +5 awareness, so not the greatest upgrade in the world. Awareness doesn't help him out too much, but that +1 speed certainly does. And then Mekhi Blackman, we're definitely going to need him to play his best football in the slot if we're going to continue on this Super Bowl run. Got a little bit beat up there by Marvin Mims. Certainly we get 1 man and 1 press for him. Possibly playing his last couple games in a Raider uniform. Definitely need them to be his best. And now moving on, there's no drama. We know who we are playing. It is a matchup with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that game will be coming to you next time. We are 1 win away from the Super Bowl. In the NFC, the Eagles lose to the Panthers, so the number 1 seed gets upset by the number 7 seed. It'll be the winner of Packers and Panthers meeting us or the Jaguars in the Super Bowl. We will not know who we are playing. The NFC plays after us, so We're not looking at matchups. We're only focused on the Jags. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. We looks like are going to have a very good one, taking a look at these stats here. Jags top 10 in a lot of categories on offense and on defense. Certainly a good group if they've made it this far. But you are going to see the AFC Championship game next time. Guys, I've taken off of work this entire week. I've taken some holiday, so I have nothing to do but to play these games, edit them, and get them up for you. So you're going to have the AFC Championship coming to you very, very soon. I promise you that. If you enjoyed this game, go ahead, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you next time with the Raiders. Take care.